afternoon, ladies. I'm Erin, and this is Rebecca, and we are a duo known as In Between Friends.
Why?
Because we are in between.
We're totally friends.
Huge stages of our lives. We are good friends, and I'm sure that you can totally relate to the conversations that we have. Again, we are not experts by any means.
What?
Well,
just my personal experience.
Yes, I mean, totally. And in my own home, I'm an expert. But in your home, maybe not. So we are coming to you to talk today actually about just that whole concept of in-between awkwardness. Kind of those stages in your life where you're not necessarily on to the next phase, but you definitely have left the previous one, and kind of what you do during that time. Specifically what we're talking about here is being pregnant, but you're not a mom yet. So you are a mom, but you're not a mom. It's just this weird thing. I can tell you this very much so. I felt like I had already turned into a mother by the time I was about 2.5 months pregnant, 3 months pregnant, maybe a little bit close to my first trimester being over. I just felt mentally different. I was anticipating different things. I was thinking about different things, and it only increases the further along I get, obviously, because it becomes more preeminent that you're,
like it's apparent.
Yes, that you're going to be doing this. But it's awkward because it changes a lot. It changes you. It changes a little bit about your marriage. It changes your social life, really.
Yeah.
You know?
And I felt it probably a little later just because I wasn't showing.
Yeah.
I mean, it impacted me dealing with morning sickness and just not feeling myself. But because I wasn't showing, it wasn't necessarily like, here I am. Yeah. Yes, your life is changing. Yeah. And so mine was a little more delayed, but it is awkward because even though you're not holding the baby, your life has already become consumed by the baby. Yeah. Yes. Tell me a little bit about how you've had to kind of adjust how you see yourself in this in-between. Yeah.
I mean, I think that there's a certain part of yourself that you, I don't want to say a certain part of yourself dies. That sounds terrible, you know? But I mean, a certain part of it's just a certain transition into thinking more about something else beyond yourself, something more beyond just you and your husband. You know, and I got out, you know, I liken it to when I got married. It was, again, about me and him. That was a little bit easier for some reason, that transition, though. The transition of mom, I think because, again, there's so much dependent on you. It's not this fully grown human adult who can take care of themselves. It truly is you taking care of them, so you become almost this nurturer right away.
Yes.
And that wasn't necessarily part of my being before. Right. So that emerging, it's a different countenance. It's a different character.
Yeah.
I truly believe, and that begins to permeate your other relationships.
Completely. And I don't think, in general in society, we don't like really long transitions.
No.
So when we say you have 9 months.
Yeah. It's a hard one.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a really long time. That would be like, hey, I'm moving my house in 9 months.
Oh my gosh.
If you told me that, I would be starting to pack boxes now and live in a naked house for like 8 months because I had it done. So 9 months, that length of time is really, really difficult. And I would say on top of that, like adjusting your expectations for yourself, and this is what I'm capable of, and it's okay that I can't perform because, you know, you're pregnant, but you're just you. So then you're thinking like, I worked all day. Why am I exhausted? I can't keep my house straight. Yep. What's happening? Because, and then the ultimate thing is, well, when the baby comes, my life is going to be even a more disaster. So you're kind of like set yourself up for this whole failure thing, when in actuality, it's just transitioning you from all these things are no longer needs. Like my house does not need to be perfect. The pictures on the wall don't have to be hung immediately. These can all be transitions. We can slow that down. What about your marriage?
Yeah, I haven't noticed this too significantly in my marriage because we were both really within step with each other of really wanting this and it being a huge goal of ours. Yeah. And being very excited about what that was going to mean to our relationship, that it was going to be a blessing and a flourishing of our love for each other. Yeah. So it's truly, we both are kind of on par for that. I mean, we're definitely, again, I think it's a little bit harder for Jeff to maybe adapt to this new woman because, again, he's not there yet. He's not a dad quite yet. It's not his body. So he has to become aware that I'm a little bit further along maybe in the process. But it hasn't been too difficult, at least as far as I've noticed it.
Well, and will transition really quickly, I think. As soon as those babies arrive, there's something that kicks in that delivery room where they're like, okay, I'm here. Yeah. Protector, provider, in gear. Yeah. I am ready for anything.
Yeah. And to be fair, like we've talked about before, he is definitely a planner, and he is definitely thinking ahead. But I think probably what's beneficial in regards to keeping on the same page is just communication. And it's just making sure that you're talking about it, making it a reality amongst both of you, you know, and just really talking about, again, proactive steps as to what you see your life as beyond just this transitionary period that you're in, because that can pave the way for so much more success.
So much more when you're like preventative. Yeah. It sounds bad. Like bringing these kids into the world is going to bring in a ton of problems. It doesn't. It just complicates things. Yeah. And the more you're prepared for those complications and just that the activity in your home is amped, the more you are a team together. And we really stress being a team with your spouse. Yeah. Yes, it's your body. Yes, you're going with it. However, you would not be here in this position without him. So you have to include him. The more he's included, the more he feels part of it.
Yeah. One huge thing that I've noticed in my own life, and again, because I had been single for so long and then without children for so long, is my circle of friends was really, really important to me. Very much so. And it was a huge aspect of my life. And that began to nearly immediately change upon my pregnancy because of my activities were limited and what I could do. But I would just really encourage you to anticipate that as well, as to just that those relationships are going to be altered. They're going to be altered anyways when you have that 8-pound ham in your hand, crying ham. But it's interesting to watch them change prior to that even being here as well.
Yeah, yeah, and your friends are only anticipating you changing. Yeah. So they may be backing out before the inevitable may happen. It's not a guarantee, but it may happen.
Totally, and yeah, it's just something to anticipate. But you know, we labeled it as in between awkwardness. Doesn't have to be awkward. No. It can totally be cured by just proactive thinking, proactive communication, and again, proactive just understanding maybe a little bit that these things are going to happen. It's a joyous event, and none of this needs to be scary in any way or life-changing, but it will be a little bit. So we hope this helps you, and it definitely helps me make me feel a little bit more normal. And remind me how to stay on the same page with those things that are important to me, myself and my husband, my friends. We hope that you have a great day. We'd love to hear back from you, just where you're at in your pregnancy and what you're anticipating. Please check out our vlog at www.inbetweenfriends, and we will talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.